Welcome, everybody. Welcome to 20 Sides Every Story. We haven't been on in a while, but we are going to kick some. I don't know what I was about to say. We're about to kick some ass, but we're going to kick off this campaign. Yeah! It's starting hot. We're going to be playing Symbaroum. We're going to. We've played a number of different versions, I guess, of Symbaroum on the channel, but we're going back to the OG, and we're going to be trying to play the base system, the system that the world and setting and everything was kind of built off of. So, hey, thank you for the follow, Demad69. Good to see ya. Casey, yay team. Adrian says hello to everybody. Yeah, so we're going to be kicking things off. We're actually not starting right in the Throne of Thorns campaign. We've got a little. We're going to kind of warm up to that because the main campaign starts hot. Like I could probably say we're going to kick some ass, and that would be probably true if we're doing the first book. But we're going to warm up. We're going to ease into that, and so we're going to start things off with an adventure from. It's from one of the adventure collections. It's called the Fever of the Hunt. And so we've done our session 0, we've created characters and everything like that, and so I think we are pretty much well established here on our end. If this is your first time coming to check us out, please do come and join us in our Discord server to come and hang out with us and talk about the games we like to play, and maybe I think there's some people even talking about getting a little one-shot or something together today. So we do have an LFG channel where you can find other people to play with. Yeah, I think we'll just get right into the game here. We're running a little late as we get started, but kind of overview or just kind of a recap of information. And we've got our characters don't all necessarily know each other. So one of the goals that we have with this first session is really to kind of get them to kind of coalesce as a group and get to know each other through this adventure. But basically, this scenario starts at a place called Salindra's Hope, which is a very small little fort outpost in the forest of Davokar. Maybe a couple days journey north of Thistlehold. It is in Davokar. It is in kind of what you would call like the kind of the outer forest, where one can travel. There's still threats and such in the outer forest, but it is kind of the region or zone where the barbarian tribes have lived there for, their longevity and things like that. So you can eke out an existence. You really don't want to go into the deep of Davokar. That's where things get weird. So we're not in the weird part of the forest quite yet. So this there's enough weird going on at Salindra's Hope, though. It is a outpost that is situated really on this treeless, muddy hill, or at least on the kind of threshold of that. And it is basically a place where a bunch of people are gathering and kind of eking out a temporary living here in little tents and huts that they have assembled, because there's a bunch of people that are kind of prospecting at this hill. And there's, of course, where there are people that have interest or thoughts that they're going to get rich by doing an activity, there's always somebody there to, profit off of that. And so there is a character named Silvercheek, middle-aged woman with half of her face is concealed by a silver mask. Pretty much all of you will at some point become acquainted with her because she is kind of the head authority at Salindra's Hope. She seems to be maybe one of the prominent people that set up this place and financed its construction, and she's built a tavern there. She kind of she pays for security, and she just kind of is the law. She kind of keeps order of things. And so if you want to go and prospect or dig at that hill, you can buy a claim from her, and you get a little plot of land that's yours, and that's like your spot that you can mine that, you can dig there, and whatever you find you get to keep. I'm probably glossing over why are these people here? Why are they coming? Well, are they delusional? Maybe. Some of them, all of them, claim that they have something very, very specific that they are looking for at the hill. For some of them, it might be something personal, something they lost earlier in life. Um, for some, it might be religious. For some are looking for artifacts of power. For some, it's just purely wealth and riches. But everybody's got something, and they have some kind of a strong conviction that it is in that hill. Of course, this is preposterous. If you bring this up to anybody, there's just going to be a strong amount of denial, probably, because on its face, it is impossible that this one hill would have all of these different things, especially these things that are very personal from people that only knew the old country or have just come to Ambria in the past 5 years. Why would it be in this hill in the middle of the forest? But be that what it is, people are maybe they are believing in some kind of divine providence that it's here, that somebody, we're just taking it on faith that the powers that be, the gods, Prios, whoever it is, put it in that hill and they were going to find it. um so um we did some overview of all the NPCs and things like that in our session 0, or at least some of them. We're not going to take time to introduce them all. I think we'll probably just meet them in play. Um, and we're just gonna kind of spotlight the different characters as we um, kind of go scene by scene, and eventually I think we will see them all in one spot together. But why don't I just kind of review what my understanding of where we're at as we start up here? I think Ryan, your character Gnosis, has probably been here for a few weeks now, having bought a claim yourself. You've been digging at the hill, and maybe no luck yet, but maybe I'll use this as an opportunity to have you kind of just reintroduce us to your character. If anybody doesn't remember, Gnosis was a character that was it about a year ago that we played through that first adventure of that we played through the introductory scenario that you can find in the core rule book. So this character has a storied history already, having played through some adventures. So Ryan, why don't you just give us kind of the rundown of Papa Gnosis?
So yeah, Papa Gnosis is a changeling and a self-taught mystic. Kind of his shtick is, you know, he, as a self-taught mystic, as an excuse to kind of practice his magic, he sort of pretends, where in his travels to be a priest of Prios. So he kind of wears the mask and wears the robes and will oftentimes, when he's not using his changeling ability to kind of fit in places and just kind of look the part, he's kind of wearing the robes of the Church of Prios and kind of proselytizing and trying to maybe make a little bit of money as a mystic, as a legitimate mystic, even though he's not. Uh, and so, I think with his kind of background, kind of being a changeling and being interested in mystic powers, the biggest thing that kind of drives him is like knowledge, is kind of trying to understand these strange mysteries of the world. Where do the changelings come from? What is the corruption? It just answers to the question. And I think that's really what drew Gnosis here, right? Like hearing about the people having these dreams and finding these specific objects. I like to think that Gnosis kind of showed up under the guise of maybe somebody he saw on the road leaving town, like not necessarily in his priestly robes while he's out there digging, but sort of in disguise and just trying to suss out what's going on. Yeah, is he kind of digging? Yeah, but he's not necessarily looking for anything. He didn't have any of these dreams. He's more digging and watching the goings on of the people around, seeing who's finding what, celebrating with them when they find it and asking questions about the experience of, oh, did you dream about it? What were you expecting? Did you find, and really kind of trying to suss out the stories of each individual that's out here, so that he can gain an understanding of what's happening.
I think I put you next to the exact right prospector. So
Mhm.
it's fair to say your eyes are not necessarily looking down at your own little plot, but maybe more looking to the left, looking to the right, kind of seeing what your neighbors are up to, what they're maybe starting up chit chat with them during your breaks and things like that. Um, I had a question actually that I was thinking about earlier today. What would you say is Papa knows like? What is the quality of the authenticity of what he when he professes to be a member of the church? Like, how convincing do you think he is it something like, okay, you could pass with like the common person, but what if you were to meet like an actual priest, a member of the curia?
Y- you know, in his past adventure, he did come across some priests, and he was able to pass, right? But I do think that it's one of those things where it makes him very nervous, and when he's nervous, he can fuck up, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And there's always I forget the name of the witch hunters, the black
But
something or whatever,
the black cloaks, yeah.
the black cloaks. There's always the threat of the black cloaks, right? And so if they're, generally he travels in areas where there's not a whole lot of actual priests tending to their flocks because he's on the outskirts of society. But as he kind of uh, uh, travels more into more civilized lands, he has had to pass. But there is that nervousness and there is that concern when he does that. He's like, oh, I did my homework, but did I do enough homework? If they ask the wrong question, am I going to know the answer? Things like that.
Right, right. Okay. Yeah, sounds good. So we've got you out by the hill, and then I think we have Val and Chris. For now, I'm just going to call your character Nameless until there is a name for them. But I think the two of
Sure.
you are kind of grouped together right now. Um, maybe that, like, probably the both of you got here roughly around the same time, having both taken a contract to be guards essentially here at Cylinder's Hope. So um, I think right now you're probably just kind of getting into your routine, kind of doing your patrols, kind of probably also getting to know who the different people are, right? Like, who are the troublemakers? Who are the people that are reliable that we can get good information from when we need to, and just like a general sense of what the temperature is in Cylinder's Hope. But um, why don't we start, Gabe? Why don't you just kind of give us a little rundown on Val, who also, uh, when we were playing the 5e Ruins of Symbaroum, is where Gabe's character came from. We did a number of adventures. We actually did like the Copper Crown sessions, but we did that in the 5e. So then when we started doing this, Gabe wanted to bring Val in. We had to do the funny math of trying to figure out what does that 5e character look like when you bring them back and import them back into the base rules. So anyway, let I'll let you kind of take it away and tell us about Val.
Yeah, so Val is a barbarian, or at least dresses like one, and I'll explain why you wouldn't be able to tell precisely. Is simply because he always wears a mask. Now, many characters and players in Symbaroum wear masks, so that doesn't certainly make him unique in that. But not being able to see his face or hear his voice without the muffled cover of the mask makes him a little bit hard to really read. In terms of what everyone would know, he seems to have a militaresque bearing to himself, something between like a cop and a soldier, or both. And he seems to be more at ease with patrolling, studying, planning, um, kind of getting ready for the worst, or getting ready to break uh, people apart before the situation escalates too much. He doesn't talk much, so I'm not sure he has already established a rapport with anybody really. But what he probably would have done ad infinitum would be just assessing the quality of the palisade, whether there are any weak points. Just as you said, Alex, probably studying everybody to see what their MO is, anybody that seems ready and willing to create problems, and probably charting that. I don't think it's been here long enough to have a clear idea, but certainly will take the time to do his own search.
And you have been given the rank or the title of Bailiff of Cylinder's Hope.
Oh,
And then Nameless is, I guess, deputy? I don't know. I don't know what the equivalent title would be, but we'll say deputy. You're second. You don't really have a huge staff. You've got 2 ogres on staff, and that's it. Nameless is one of them. So, Chris, you want to tell us a little bit about Nameless?
Sure. Let's see. Chris is new to this system, and in reading what an ogre was, I thought it would kind of be best because I don't really know that, so I'm just going to kind of learn who he is through play, considering that there's really not much background other than I kind of woke up in the forest. There was some equipment and everything laid out there. I don't want to mess with any cannon or anything, but there was stuff that was there. I had slight memories that, there were some books there and stuff like that I had thumbed through. I knew how to read. There was just kind of some residual something as to why some 6.5 foot tall creature wakes up. I believe I ran across Reg as I was walking, and he brought me to Cylindra's Hope. But he comes in slightly, a hair shy of about 7 feet tall, broad build, broad shouldered, which was kind of why the guard said, "Hey, you want to help keep the peace?" And I said, "Sure. Does it pay?" And yes, not much. Okay, fine. And that more or less is where I have been. One thing I think, although he's large and he's kind of mean looking, one thing that people have noticed is he has oddly kind eyes. And kind of his general disposition that he has been putting out there is it's good to be nice until it's time to not be. So he's not angry or aggressive, but he definitely can be if the need arises. So that is more or less him. I suppose he's probably been here all of probably a month and a half, 2 months, whatever, kind of however long Val has been here. He maybe was about a day or 2 behind him. So
Yeah, I think that can work. I think that time frame can work. So I'm going to say, as we start, the 2 of you are going to be in Silvercheek's office, kind of giving, just like your report. It'll be a chance for us to maybe go over maybe some of the colorful characters that maybe you should be paying attention to.
Okay.
And then that's going to leave us with Reg and Gretel. As has been referenced at this point, Reg probably is the one that knows the most of the player characters because he's basically served as kind of a guide to getting to this place. It's pretty remote. There isn't a clear road that would take you here. And so if someone is answering some kind of a work notice or they've heard they can get work there, or they are, in the case of Papa Gnosis, I think you also were led here. It was I heard about this place, and so you needed somebody to help you get there. And so Reg has been that for a lot of you. He's going to actively be helping Gretel get to Salindra's Hope. I think that's the scene that we're going to start on. But maybe before we dig into that, we'll have Isaac introduce Reg, and then we'll have Jenna introduce Gretel. So, Isaac, we'll go with you first.
Sure. Reg, as far as I can tell, she is a barbarian from one of the tribes that are very closely on the border of the forest to the oncoming people. So she has made it a point to try to make as much coin and profit from this by selling the way to any place people would want to go. She's been a guide to many people going to this small town here. She seems to be. She would have a bow. She seems to be able to handle her own. And yes, she has. She had found Nameless, Chris's character, and brought him to town. So I'd say that's pretty much what we got for her so far.
And your tribe was Odivan, right?
I believe so. I would have to look. It would be the tribe, whichever tribe is the one that it makes it a point that the chief is living in a life of luxury as their.
Okay, I think that's Odiva.
I'll take a look.
Yeah.
I'll take a look. Make sure, but yeah.
And then Gretel. What do you want to tell us about Gretel?
Gretel has yet to really meet any of the other characters yet, besides Reg kind of being their into Salindra's Hope. They are a mechanically known as a witch hunter. And they have sought this life out after essentially being exiled from their home, a family that was of high status, living in the barony of the Fairlas. Her family was in service of the Duke that was there, but she had accidentally committed a taboo that made the relations they were trying to establish with some of the barbarians there. It risked breaking that kind of relation, so she was sent away so they could try to pick up the pieces of that. And so since then, she has been trying to find a way to prove herself, either to just earn some luxuries back, or earn her way back to the family in some way. So she's trying to find a way to kind of redeem herself for the past and live comfortably again.
Question I have for you is, are you transparent about what you are and what you're doing, or have you invented like a cover story for yourself, or I guess what does that look like?
I haven't really thought about it. I think it would make sense for them to come up with a cover story. Something maybe that they're in search for, maybe kind of following along with their own story. They're looking for something that'll fix her past, and because since going to the hill, people are looking for strange things. A little bit of truth kind of mixed in with the lie, but something to make it easier to like chat with people, because I'm sure having someone coming in here to investigate this hill and maybe like try to like take away from people who are trying to find their thing and might sit wrong with people. So perhaps pretending to be amongst them would be better.
Okay, sounds good. So the two of you are traveling as you have been for the past couple days. You're in the thick of Davokar, big, tall pine trees to the left and right. There is no path really. Um, even though it is daytime, the heavy canopy above definitely filters that light such that it almost always just kind of perpetually feels like you're approaching dusk or maybe just after dawn. But you can hear, birds chirping and such. You're in the part of Davokar where it doesn't feel oppressive or overly creepy necessarily. There is some beauty to the woods and to the forest, lush greens, and once in a while you pass by and kind of hit like the wind will carry a scent of floral scent carried from deeper in the woods, or sometimes just kind of like the wet earth, a little bit of pine resin maybe. But you're traveling forward. I don't know, Gabe, do you remember, did we place our adventure in a particular season?
I think it was fall.
Okay, why don't we
You
say
describe it like a cold early fall, if I remember correctly. I'm not 100% sure, but
yeah,
positive.
why don't we say it's like early spring? Like we've just come out of the winter months. I think that would have placed enough time between those two adventures for certain things to have transpired and taken place. So, yeah. So like, there's maybe some evidence of like, blooming flowers and blooming plants, as you're passing through. What would you say is the I don't know, the air of familiarity maybe between Gretel and Reg? Is this a travel in silence? Is there any small talk occurring? Is it awkward? Is it familiar?
Hmm, maybe I could see Gretel like at least attempting like some small talk, being like, "So, you you walk through these woods fairly often."
Yes, I do. Yes, that's why I'm your guide. Uh, watch up here.
Oh.
Yes.
And I think it probably makes sense that Reg, you do this so often, you probably like leave your own marks on certain trees to
Hmm.
guide you to the and as you're traveling, you would note that there are other marks on trees, right? Like other people have left different symbols and things like that. Some of them may be wayfarer signs like yours, but others may be taboos or signs from the other clans. Particularly, the clan of Karohar is in this area. Um, you're probably, even though you're a barbarian, right? You're not intimately knowledgeable about all the different clans and all their different beliefs and things like that. You would recognize it, but you don't necessarily always know what these symbols mean. But you also know that the woods and the elves may sometimes leave things and markings to maybe intentionally confuse and mess with travelers, especially in this new age where the Ambrians are pushing into the woods. And so only to trust a particular mark that is of your own creation or your own design.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we would get to one of these trees. I would see a mark, but I would also have a secondary mark nearby under a rock or something that I would be checking to make sure if it was legitimate or not.
And everything as you're doing this feels on the up and up. This is familiar,
Mm-hmm.
particularly the path you're taking right now. It'd be from Thistlehold to Cylindra's Hope. This is probably like the most common route that you take because you get a lot of work out of Thistlehold.
Sure. Well, uh, Gristle, Gretel.
It would be Gretel.
That's fine. It's good that you hired me, uh, because, well, there's a lot of tricksters on the road here. I fear if you would have gone at it by yourself, you would have been lost. You probably could have died out here in these woods. I've heard tales and seen corpses myself.
Corpses.
Aye, all over the place. There's corpses here. Just the, just, just death.
Ah,
But do
sh-
fear
sh-
not. I am here, and we will get you to where you need to go. Um, very shortly. Again, I know you mentioned that you needed it, and I promised that I wouldn't ask too many questions, but see is that we got a couple. I don't know, maybe half a day to 3 days journey ahead of us. I'd like to ask you maybe what you doing out here in my lands.
well, I've heard of stories of a hill out here. I don't really.
Ah, the
I
hill. You're a digger, huh?
I am admittedly interested in the hill. I hope. I hope to find something that I have lost there, which I suppose is the case for many people. And
Hey, bones of your loved one, an old uh, book.
I don't know how I'll necessarily get it back. It's something bigger. It's a way to return back to my family. My
Oh,
family is not dead or anything, just on bad terms.
I
Um,
seek. Yes.
and I hope there is an answer to put us on correct terms in there.
Oh, I'm sure of it. I've been telling everyone that I've guided out here that it must be there. Yes.
Has anyone found anything?
Um, there's been hope. They found hope. I've heard stories of people feel that they're very close.
So no one has found anything.
I couldn't tell you as I'm out here now with you.
Do you ever feel do you ever feel the will to dig yourself?
No, 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 no. Ah, wouldn't be right for me to do so.
Oh, why is that?
I just personal feelings and all. But
Ah,
just don't let me sway you. You go ahead and do what you need to do. And when you find what you're looking for, you make sure that you ask for me, and I'll get you back home safely to your loved ones.
I mean, you've been doing very excellent so far, helping me to avoid any corpses. I haven't seen any on our journey so far.
It's right. Well, we make sure I take the less gruesome way.
Sounds
That's
like
excellent. That's excellent.
sounds like this was probably a conversation maybe on day one as you were heading out or setting out from Thistlehold. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we'll say I just had to look at a map to kind of see like how far away is it actually. So it'll be about 2.5 days.
Okay.
So day 2 of your travel also goes uneventful as you're passing through. Day 3, you awake. There is like a river that you need to cross, and so as you are passing through the woods, you're able to kind of navigate to a place where there are some stepping stones where wayfarers and barbarians and those that come this way know to take this particular route, and it'll give you a for the most part dry crossing over the river and onto the other side where you'll be able to get to Salindra's Hope. And probably right around noon or so, you were traveling through the woods again. You're just kind of navigating through. It's kind of a switchback kind of way that you go to kind of avoid all of the thick underbrush and everything. But birds are chirping. You're definitely feeling that you're nearly at your destination when suddenly there's just a strange noise that kind of startles you, and maybe fills you with kind of like that momentary panic, because there is some really large creature that you hear shuffling around in the woods. You can just hear the snapping of not just twigs, but what sounds like maybe small young trees breaking and hitting the ground. And whatever this thing is, its weight is pounding on the ground, and you can kind of feel its tremor. You can't see it. Like I said, like the pine trees and everything are probably in some places crowded in as tight as like a foot and a half apart. So the foliage is just way too deep, but almost makes it worse that you can't see what lies beyond.
Wait now. Did you hear that?
Gretel's hand kind of goes and kind of rests on the like the stock of her weapon, and she kind of looks around. She's like, "That I don't like the sound of that at all."
It's good that you're here with me. That weapon there is not going to do anything for what beasties lie in this forest.
Like,
That we move quietly and continue our path.
hmm. Even though it probably won't be very useful, she does like kind of remove the weapon from her belt. It's like a short pole arm with like a little kind of pick at one side and a hammer at the other, a little point. And she just kind of has that at her side and is now looking around a little more carefully. And it sounds like this thing is fairly large. Are we able to kind of like, as we're moving, are we able to kind of pinpoint where it is to avoid it?
It sounds like kind of naturally, like almost like it was walking parallel with you, but maybe after 45 seconds or something of just like hearing it kind of like in very close proximity to your location, it seems like it must split off and go north because the sounds kind of taper off and become more faint.
Hmm. I wonder what that could have been. Is it something that, have you ever ran into something of that size out here?
Whether I have or not, I think my character would say, "Oh, you don't want to know what that was." Either way, you stay close. We keep on going. Obviously, um, I think the best way to stay alive is not to go announce ourselves and say hi to any of these creatures out here.
Agreed. I'm curious. Um, would there be enough information in like the size and like maybe the sound of the gait of the monster? Would I be able to like apply my beast lore to this to like maybe make an educated guess on what might be in this region?
Um, I don't think you have enough information.
Okay.
Large thing in the woods could be quite a few different things, unfortunately for you.
Yeah, that's why I asked, because I was like, probably not, but I was like, I have a thing. Maybe let's try it.
If you ever see it, for sure you can.
Cool.
But for now, it sounds like your guide is suggesting stick on the path. You now have a the river as kind of a guide to kind of continue to head east. Oh, the chat really would like you to investigate. I would advise against it, but you're free to do whatever you would like. But I think you're going to choose to follow the river and head in the direction of Salindra's Hope. And maybe about another 2 hours travel, you will eventually notice that the woods and the forest become more sparse, and eventually the trees kind of give way altogether to a very vast clearing where you could see this muddy, treeless hill, which is quite a strange thing to see in the middle of Davokar. And you could see that there is at the base of that hill a little settlement with a wooden palisade around it. There's maybe only 2-3 permanent structures constructed of wood, very new construction. Beyond that palisade, then the rest of it is essentially little kind of cobbled together shacks and tents, maybe some covered wagons that people are kind of repurposed as living quarters while they are living out here at Salindra's Hope. You're looking on the hill, you would see that there are all sorts of little kind of wooden framed I don't know what you'd call it. Basically these contraptions that people, like, very crude, that people have built that have like winches on them, and it looks like there are teams, like some people have like a person up above who is like cranking up a bucket or several buckets full of silt and clay and mud, and then they're, you know, taking those buckets or whatever and then walking out to the base of the hill and ditching them, and, you know, they're excavating out and digging kind of vertically, it looks like, in these like shafts, many of them. Some of them are actually just straight up with a shovel, just going at it at the side of the hill, but there are quite a few like plots where people are very strategically, it looks like, going like down into the hill. The two of you, Reg, I think, would probably bring you to the front gate, which is open currently, and there is an ogre sitting on a almost comically small little 4-foot stool with 4 feet on it, and they are kind of kneeling down, almost like in a squatting kind of position. And this ogre is well over, you can imagine if they stood, they'd be well over 7 feet tall. But in their really long, really large mitts, they've got this book that they are kind of paging through. And the ogre never looks up as you approach, but she hears you coming. And as soon as you get within like 10 meters or so, she just says, "Stop. Business.
Stops.
What is yours?"
I seek I seek to find something in the hill.
Oh. Just something?
It's something that will reunite me with my family.
Go on in. Go to meet Silvercheek. Buy plot. She'll help you. Hope you find something.
Thank you. What are you reading?
A book.
What's the book's title?
She kind of like picks it up and like looks at the back of it. No name. Good book.
Huh. You have to tell me about it later.
Action packed.
Ooh. That is a good book.
Barbarian.
I'm sorry, you said it's about a barbarian?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Heroic battles. Writes justice. It's fiction.
Is this the one where the barbarian goes to try to save the Duchess?
Oh, I read that one. That was 2 books ago. This is third part of Chronicle.
Oh, I'm behind. Never mind. I don't want to hear.
I'll let you
Well,
borrow.
Oh, I would love that. Thank you.
I can read to you.
That'd be lovely.
Okay. Later,
Later.
find something, then read.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'll walk on in.
She looks at Reg and she just says, Reg, hello.
Hey, got another one for you. There we are. I heard yeah. Yeah, happy continued with that book there. Let's see.
I'm getting faster.
Anyone find anything yet?
I don't think so. Gijabulgo says any day now.
Hmm.
He says a lot.
Okay, sure. Well, I'm gonna rest my feet here a bit. Maybe we headed out tomorrow sometime.
Okay.
Any other news around town?
Gross. Yesterday.
Just kidding. Oh,
Man, what name? Hendello? Do you know Hendello?
not sure.
He got his hands dirty in pig. Guts all over. Need to clean up. Still there.
Oh,
He used magic. Seems like BS.
that is gross. Yes. Save it for the new guy, eh? To clean up. Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Not
is
my
he
job.
doing, by the way? Yeah.
He reads too.
Oh, good. You're keeping an eye on him, yes?
No, not job.
It's fair. All right. Well, it's good seeing you. I'll bid you adieu.
I saw
I
you
think that
too.
means bye.
Bye.
Yep. Bye.
Hi, Daniel. Okay, so the two of you make the acquaintance of the other ogre, whose name is Roughneck. I guess Reg, you would know that. I think we will turn our attention then to kind of a back office at the tavern. Well, tavern / gambling hall that Silver Cheek operates. At this time of day, there would be nobody there. Everybody's out digging, and so Val and Nameless, you are in her back office / bedroom, multi-purpose room that is very kind of crowded with boxes and crates of black brew that and some foodstuffs that she gets occasional supplies from Thistlehold. And she's sitting behind a pretty crude little desk stacked with ledgers and paperwork that is probably different receipts and travel paperwork from the different couriers that she uses. But she is sitting there, and this will be kind of an unusual way to do this RP because I'm using it to share some information with you. So she is just kind of going over the roster of interesting characters in town with you and kind of asking what you know about them. So I think we will start maybe with that thing that we just heard Roughneck mention, that there was a man that apparently took. Now this is a common thing. Every night there's a pig roast. There's a hunter in town, or somebody goes out and kills a boar and brings it into town, and then they the Spitfire or whatever roast it over the communal fire, and that there's a communal meal basically. She feeds everybody at night to keep them happy and such. And it sounds like there is this character by the name of Handello, who, when the boar came into town, he went and asked, or maybe he didn't ask. I guess maybe we don't know. But for one reason, one way or another, he went and got the entrails of the intestines of that boar, and very publicly, just it seemed like didn't really care what anybody thought of it. Kind of laid them out on the grass and on the ground, and was doing some kind of divination, maybe, or what he claimed. He claimed he was using them to try to get a read on where to dig, or he was going to buy a second plot, and he was using them as the tea leaves basically to pick out a spot. And so this got a lot of people talking because, you know, the use of mystical powers is not something that everybody is comfortable with. Everybody knows that the risk of corruption and doing it so publicly, you know, in the middle of Davokar, got people kind of riled up. So you guys probably had a little bit of, you know, he wasn't necessarily doing anything wrong or illegal, but you guys probably had a night kind of trying to calm nerves, trying to keep anybody maybe from killing him, right? So you're giving her kind of a rundown of that situation. She's also going to ask you about another character, a man by the name of Sikander. And Val, Sikander you probably have some feelings about Sikander, whether you've had interactions with him or not, because he walks around with a flaming servant that is almost exactly like some fiery metal men that you encountered. So he clearly has some mystical powers himself, because he is able to cast that flaming servant spell that would have created those things that you encountered in that tomb months upon months ago. But for him, it appears to be a bodyguard that follows him around. Just has the appearance of like this metal man that is just wearing this like smoldering, blackened, charred armor, and then he carries this big, great sword on his back. Flaming servant doesn't really bother anybody; it just follows him around, and it goes out to the hills with him when he goes out digging. Needless to say, nobody fucks with Sikander. People pretty much leave him alone. But she's asking you about like if you've noticed anything. You know, he sticks out just because of that. So she's probably asking you keep an eye on him. You know, to probably ask you, can you handle it if he decides to throw his weight around, because she doesn't know how powerful that thing is.
And Val will probably tell her, you know, we took on half a dozen. It was hard. For one, and with two ogres, it'll be okay.
I think it would be fine.
And with the silver cheek, you only get half of her facial expressions, because she herself has a silver mask that covers the right side of her face. But you can tell there's a little bit of skepticism in her eyes when you make that claim, but verbally she just kind of reassures you, well, I always knew that you were the right man for the job, Val. We're very lucky to have you here. Now, there's one other matter that I want to talk to you about. That man, that other masked man, Gnosis. What do you know about him? Because I've been overhearing him talk. Something strange about him. Talks a good game about Prios, but some of what he says don't add up. Now, I've come to two conclusions about him. One, that he's a fraud, which wouldn't be so bad. There's a lot of them around here. That we could ignore. But there's another possibility. Some of what he says don't line up with what the church teaches. I'm worried he could be in league with that heretic in Thistlehold, Sarvola. Now, people's beliefs, they are what they are. I don't care as long as it don't bother me, but the church has some strong feelings about that man and his teachings. And Val, you would know Sarvola, I'm pretty sure, because you were in Thistlehold, and Master Varnum was definitely friendly, if not sympathetic, to Sarvola. And so just an overview of Sarvola is basically he's a humanist. He does not believe in the war vision of Prios, and he wants to return to the sun god as he was before the war in Elberator. The church doesn't like that.
I think Tuval Servola is a nice man because he cares about orphans. I don't think Val has a refined understanding of the doctrinal differences.
Yes.
But he would probably say to Silverchick, boss, you pay me to keep the peace, not to enforce Orthodox faith. But if you so ask.
No. I'm just, it's a curiosity and something we need to know. Because
do you want me to go grab this Gnosis and bring him here to you so you can ask these questions?
No. I don't want to cause a stir. It's just I would like to get your opinion about it, because I don't want no black cloaks wandering in here and causing a ruckus. If he's a wanted man, we should know that so we can plan ahead.
Nameless, the best way to observe is to not be seen for your act.
Okay.
Keep to the shadow, learn, and strike when nobody expects you to.
Well said. I couldn't have said it better myself. Is there anything else I need to know? Any goings on? Anything you've noticed?
I just got word from Roughneck someone came into town, but I don't know anything about it yet. I'll go check it out.
Yep. Don't come on too strong, like you said. Tonight, around the fire, go have a little friendly chat with them. Welcome them into our community. Show them where they can set up their tent. I'm sure they'll be along before too much time has passed to set up a spot there on the hill. Well, that's all you guys have. You're dismissed. Keep up the good work. You guys are working out wonderfully.
I appreciate that.
Thank you, boss. Happy to serve.
Just a question. Somewhat difficult keeping my day straight. What day do we get paid again?
I need to look this up. I don't know if there's like special names of the days in Symbaroum, or if there's like a special calendar. I'll look that up, but she'll tell you like at the end of the week, like you get paid basically weekly.
Okay.
Right.
Any word on these leg breakers? Am I recalling correctly? Have they been doing anything differently?
Are you asking her in character?
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Oh, them. Don't worry about them. They're harmless pranks. You make sure that they don't get into any trouble, but keep their feet out of the fire. But don't go riling them up. They're okay."
All right.
Was there anything else I can help you boys out with?
I look
Boss,
to Val.
do you remember my memo about equipping the guards with ranged weapons? I know you haven't answered yet, but I would like to stress upon you that in case of emergency, that would go a long way.
Well, I did order everything that you asked for. It should be coming any day now. If it hasn't already, I don't know. I haven't really been keeping tabs on that. You could go and check though. You could go and talk with Samel, see if he's had any carts or crates come in. I don't think so. I don't think so yet, but you go check with him.
I go check just in case. You never know with that guy.
All right. Well, very good. Like I said, keep up the good work. And I think maybe with that, we're going to transition over to Gnosis, who's over at the hill. So if you're looking at your map here, your plot would be like somewhere over here, kind of like on the northeastern part of the hill. And I'm going to guess you've got a little pit there. You've got a ladder that goes down into a pit that's maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll say it's like 8 feet deep at this point. And so you're still working on that. And, you know, you don't have a team with you, I don't think. I don't think you've hired any hirelings. So you're kind of doing this all kind of manual labor style, going up and down the ladder with your buckets and your shovel and everything like that. But your plot is pretty close to another guy, an Ambrian man, who I think you're probably getting along with okay, or at least he seems to. He's a little bit of a braggart. He's one of those guys, you know, that likes to run his mouth and talk, but he doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like there's any like malfeasance behind it. He just wants you to think he's a knowledgeable guy and that he's really, you know, he's a lucky guy and you should be so lucky that your plot is right next to his. And he's pretty simple-minded, but you know, he's affable enough, I guess. But you guys are like kind of sitting, I think, at the top of your pits, just taking a break, having a little bit of bread maybe, and warming up some water to make some tea, and you're just sitting there kind of chit-chatting, and he's just wearing kind of this like heavily stained wool kind of one-piece overalls, and he's taking his gloves off, and he's just like, hooey, Gnosis, 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 I can feel it, today's the day, we're gonna hit gold.
Gold, is that what you're looking for? We hadn't talked about this before.
Oh yeah, man, gold, valuables. There are valuables in this hill. There is, you know what's in here, right? I think you're no dummy. You and I both know what's in this hill. This is a tomb. This is a tomb to a Symbaroum emperor, one of the last.
You know, I suspected that as well. Now, how did you figure it out? Because I've been hearing things all around, but how did you come upon that knowledge?
Well, isn't it obvious? It is, my explanation is the most reasonable explanation. I mean, that guy that's looking for his dead wife, what the hell is that all about? No. This is a tomb. This is a look at. There's no trees around here. There's something special down here, and I had a dream about it. I don't know why the good Lord Prios blessed and shine his light on my dreams, but he did, and he told me that if I were to come here and live out Queen Corinthia's vision for us Ambrians is to come on out here and take what is rightfully ours. The Symbaroum Empire, it's long gone. These elves, they don't want to do anything about it. The barbarians, they're too spooked out to take anything. It's ours, man. It's all ours. Look, I even found. And he holds out, and there's a bunch of coins in his hand, gold coins.
And when I look at the coins, do they have any symbols or anything that I would recognize that could date it to what he's talking about? You know,
Yeah. That's a good question. Why
or
don't
would I be
you?
even? Would I know that?
I'm gonna have you do a check. How about a cunning check?
And I would just click on the cunning, right?
I think so. Yeah, give that a try.
Yep. It says norm modifier. Is there a modifier?
No modifier.
Rolled low.
They don't look like modern currency as you are looking at them. Um, in fact, these have markings on them that would appear to be those of that time when the Symbaroum currency. I'm trying to see if there's like a description of what they actually look like. But we'll say like the one side of the coin has this kind of grim looking face embossed in it, and then the other just has like these weird runes that probably denote like a number or like a value, like how much credit this is worth.
And now other people that have I overheard anybody else in my time here that's found anything, or is this the first person that I'm experiencing bounce?
There have been some people that have found things here and there. Nobody that has found what they've been looking for necessarily, but little treasures, little trinkets.
Okay. But nobody that found like like you had alluded to in the beginning of people finding kind of outlandish things that don't seem like they belong there. Anything like that, or mostly things that maybe would be consistent with what I'm seeing here now.
Things more like little pieces of treasure, gold.
Yep.
Maybe a vase, maybe a little. Nothing that is like the hall, the mother lode.
Yep.
Little things. And what could you give me a vigilant test?
Yeah. Any modifier?
No modifier. Let's see. Success. There are some blemishes in the coin. It looks like along the edge, maybe a little bit of like a kind of rusty edge, just like on like a quadrant of the coin. And as you're looking at them, like the consistency of the coins, like the face is slightly different among the like coins.
Fascinating. And to my knowledge, would like the type of precious metal or the type of metal that would be pressed in the coins, would that type of metal rust? Would it tarnish in this fashion? Would that be normal, or would that be a
it's an irregularity.
like
It doesn't seem like it like this type of
should
coinage
be?
should rust. Like it might there might be a like a discoloration, but this is like rust, like
Right.
oxidized iron.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I'm gonna point that out to him at this point. I think what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna more do, is like focus in on the dream, and I want to ask him questions about the dream. Um, and it's like, wow, it seems like you're right. It really seems like you're right, and you got to tell me more about this dream because there's answers there.
And he says, "Well, by God, I've had the dream multiple times, and it don't change, Gnosis. It's always on this side of the hill, right?" And he starts like pointing out like that tree right there. I saw that tree in my dream, and I etched it into my memory. That now I had to do some estimating because I don't know about the laws of physics in the dream world and how many paces it takes, but I put myself in a state of pure lucidity, and I marched myself from that tree to this very spot, about 21 paces, give or take. So, and look at how close you are. Like you almost had my spot, buddy. But it's okay. I bet there's some spillage, right? There's enough. If it's a Symbaroum king, don't worry. I ain't greedy. There's enough here for all of us.
Now in the dream, you you found the mother lode, the vein, the treasure chest.
Oh.
What happened?
There's mummified corpse down there, just with the golden, the whole thing, the valuables on the neck, the crown, the scepter, and coins as far as the eye can see. Just spilling out from the chests and the urns, the receptacles. I don't know what you call it. Fancy words for a hell of a lot of money.
And so this was what you think was a premonition that this is something
That's a good
gonna
word.
happen in the future to you. And now you've seen the evidence to keep going. Now in the dream, when did the dream stop? Like the treasure, you hit, you dig,
Oh,
you find it, treasure pours out. Is that the end?
the end. The end is I see it and I'm moving towards it. And I'm about to enter the chamber and I'm about to put my hands on that necklace and then I wake up every time. So it's like you said, it's a premonition, and I have to fill it. We have to end it. We have to get there and finish the dream. Now, I hate to tell you, you weren't in the dream, my friend, so I don't know what that means. You feeling okay? You got a fever?
Yeah, I think I'm all right.
Okay.
But I'm not. It's okay if it's your divine providence. We're about delivering Prios's message, right? And about seeing his light. And if his light doesn't shine on me today, that's okay. But I do think that we should take this coin right here, and I'm going to reach and grab that tarnished coin. And I'm going to say,
You take
I think
it. You take it.
we need to give this up to Priosh, as a sacrifice and a symbol that that this will happen.
I've heard about
And
this.
I will pray with you here now, over this symbol and this sacrifice to Prios for this to happen, for your dream to come true.
It's called a tithe. A thiv?
Yes. A tithe. Yes, that's what it's called.
Well, I have no problems with that. I will tithe to the church, and maybe that's why you are here, right? I have to stand to reason that if Prios sent me here to get all this monies, I mean, I feel like that's a miracle. You would be able to talk about. You'd be get a lot of sheep into the flock, so to speak. If you were able to, and I'll go along with you. I mean, I could help out with that. It would be my way of giving back to the good Lord himself for shining his light down on my good fortune.
That's divine providence. That's what we're here for. That's what it's all about.
Hoo-wee. This is a good chat there. What do I call you? Father, brother,
Papa.
Papa? Is that a... Okay. It's a little weird, but
Papa no.
I didn't know that that was a rank in the church, but okay, Papa Gnosis. I'm going to get back at it. You should too, you know. Only a few more hours of daylight here. And you go and climb on down his ladder into his pit.
Prios be with you. And I'm gonna, keep that coin because I wanna. I feel like this is a little bit of information here. Is what it feels like. That this rusted coin is something.
Sounds good. You pocket that. Do you go back down and do some digging yourself?
I think actually I will probably at this juncture I'll probably stop digging and take a break, and I think I would probably do some wandering.
Okay.
Because this has me wondering who else, if anybody else is finding anything, and I hadn't paid attention previously, but now I'm a little curious if these things that people are finding have things that don't add up, like this tarnished precious metal.
I'll point out some people that would just be like more notable maybe from your perspective. So he just referenced somebody that's looking for a dead wife. So you see that guy, kind of an older man on the kind of southern side of the hill, and he has like a team. Like he hired a bunch of day laborers from Thistlehold to come out here. So he's got like 12 of them with him. And so,
and is he digging with them, or is he sort of like sitting in a chair and watching them, or?
He's digging with them, but he's probably like 60 years old, so he moves a bit slower than the rest of them, but he is putting his heart into doing as much as he can. It looks like he's probably bought like 4 plots, and they're working all of them, and they're all like kind of in the general vicinity of one another. So you see him.
Yeah.
You probably would see Sikander, the man that has the flaming servant with him. The flaming servant is not doing any labor. It just stands over his pit and kind of like watches, serving as a bodyguard, not really as a laborer. And he's by himself, kind of going up and down. He's a little bit slower too. He doesn't seem like he's a little pudgy, on the pudgier side, a little not very athletic as he's going up and down the ladder. He's taking more frequent breaks, probably. Otherwise, there's like dozens of people. So if you want to go up to like a random person, I could roll randomly to see who you go and approach.
Have I had any like interactions with any of these folks in the past, or not really?
I don't remember. Did I tell you a couple of them? Like
you'd. I don't really remember. I think you had mentioned a couple people, but I don't recall, and I didn't write anything down.
I'll roll to see. I'm going to say that you haven't had any deep conversations with, like, you've had conversations with probably a lot of them, but nothing like they all are crazy, and like so one crazy story bleeds into the next, and you're like, okay, on to the next one. The dead wife thing is like notable just because it's kind of weird.
Big one, yeah. Yeah, I think that's I would probably start first with the dead wife guy, just because it was mentioned by my neighbor there, and it is kind of an interesting case, right? And so it's piqued my curiosity, and I would probably walk by and just give like wait till I see him kind of come to a natural pause, and maybe bring up a glass of water, say like, oh, Prios be with you. How goes the week today?
You offer some water and bring him a flask or whatever, and he said, "Oh, thank you, Papa." Apparently, you've already talked to him, and he knows how to address you. And he says, "Whew. It is still, the weather is still chill, but all this work up and down the ladder, I can feel I'm not as young as I used to be. How goes
Good
it
to
on
be
the northern
aware.
side of the hill? You and, what's the man's name? Gib, whatever his name is. How fortune smile upon you? You finding what you're looking for?
I am finding so far what I have looked, and actually, my neighbor has recently found a few coins that he feels is solidifying his reasons for coming here. He feels that it's and I have to admit, and I'll show him the coin, right? That he found from my pocket and say, he says he had a dream that he was here to find the old emperor's treasure vault, and I have to say that the this coin leads me to think that strangely his dream is real, or perhaps somewhat real.
He takes it.
I've never, we've never spoken about this before, but what would everybody knows you're here looking for your wife, but what what led you to believe that she was here?
Oh, well, uh, easy to explain. I'm an old treasure hunter. My wife as well. We've taken several expeditions out in this direction, even. Um, come upon. I see this coin. I can verify its authenticity. This is a real Symbaroum coin. I've seen them before in our travels. It's been about a year since I lost my wife. We got separated in the woods not far from here. We got caught in between some members of the Karo hair tribe. But I see her every night in my dreams, calling for me. And even now, even as I sleep, as I close my eyes at night at the camp, I can hear her. I know she. He gets like kind of gets down on his knees and like puts his hands like on the clay of the hill. She. This is where she is. She must have fallen in, or there's something here, right? I mean, this is you finding this coin. It's an omen. She probably came out this way, maybe looking for that tomb that he says is out here. That would be exactly the kind of thing that she would have been looking for.
And you tell me you've seen these coins before.
Oh yes.
Do you have any of them on?
Oh no. I've since sold them. I might have one or two in a safe box back in our home in Thistlehold, but nothing on me. But no, that is a rare find. You tell him, keep digging. He'll find it. He'll find what he's looking for, and in turn, I fills me with hope that I'll find what I'm looking for too. It's evidence. She's here.
Fills me with hope for you, my friend, and I pray to Prios that you will find her, that there is a tomb, and that you will find her safe and sound and ready to go home.
There's like a slight smile on his face. Like you can tell the response that you're giving him is not one that he hears ever, probably. And so there's just like good vibes between you. You just kind of, legitimizing or, validating his story or what he believes. And he just kind of reaches out and kind of puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, "Thank you so much for stopping over, Father or Papa."
Anytime, I'm happy to lend an ear and to be a friend. said, and do keep me posted. I want to know, if you find anything and if you come closer. I'm genuinely interested. What is here? Just want to know.
He looks up at the sky and he looks back at the camp and he says, I suppose, let's call it here, friends. We're going to go back. I think that's enough work for today. And the other day laborers start kind of sigh of relief as they pull out handkerchiefs and rags just to kind of wipe their brows, and they start like pulling up all their gear, packing it up, and preparing to haul it back. The short little walk back to Salindra's Hope.
And is that just this group of people with this gentleman, or is that the camp in general?
Like the general vibe as you're looking around is people are slowing down. Like they're probably packing up like 20 minutes earlier than everybody else, but it's getting to be that point. Nobody wants to stay here once it gets dark, and we're probably approaching that kind of 5 p.m. time frame where it's time to start thinking about it or risk the forest.
Yep.
Risk being on the outside of the palisade.
So yeah, so I'll let them know, hey, I'll let you go about your business. See you tomorrow, and I'll probably make my way over to my dig site and start to do the same, to pack it up and not be the last one out of the dig site for the evening. Kind of go with the group back in town.
Sounds good. So I think we will kind of fast forward then to the evening. And so basically where you all find yourselves is as darkness falls, everybody pretty much congregates right here where there's this huge communal bonfire. And like I said, there is a boar that's on a spit roast over it. There's a couple of attendants that are cooking the meat and kind of getting the meal and such ready. Other people are, making little side dishes and potatoes and fried vegetables and things like that to go along with the. Everybody eats good. That is like the one thing that Silver Cheek insists upon, is that you got to keep everybody happy, and the way to do that is with a big meal shared amongst everybody. She seems to think that helps to keep the peace. And so pretty much everybody is kind of gathered and scattered about. Kind of facing the fire is the saloon doors, kind of saloon style doors that would lead into the gambling hall / tavern. And so there are probably people kind of coming and going in and out of there, and then bringing these kind of clay vessels full of black brew. She has a strict 2-drink maximum. Nobody can get like plastered here, but there's enough for you to be able to, maybe knock yourself out and have a good night's sleep. But it is very rare to see somebody kind of blackout drunk causing a ruckus, because she puts the kibosh on that. But before anything happens, or I describe specific things, is there anything in particular that any of you are doing as you're coming into the scene and getting comfortable?
I think that I would kind of look out for Gretel, and I wanted to introduce her to some of the other people that I have brought in town, so that she would have a set of reference of who to talk to and whatnot.
Okay. I think that is a great thing. You're probably just introducing as you are passing into people, even if you have like an ultimate goal of introducing her maybe ultimately to Silver Cheek in the tavern. But people are kind of bumping into. Everyone's always curious about a new face, and so people are small chit chat, introductions, names. I think at this point, like, people don't even really ask you like why you're here or what you're looking for. Like, we're past the point where people care so much. Like they just assume you're looking for something because everyone else's thing that they're looking for is silly. So they don't ask you. That's not the first question. But as you are going around trying to make introductions, you run into these three kind of brutish looking guys, Reg. That you know that these are the what are they called? The leg breakers, I think. The gang basically kind of hangs out. They're just nuisances really, but they kind of stop, get in your way, kind of create a human barrier. And the one man, he's probably like 6'6". He's a pretty tall guy. Very dirty, filthy. He looks like he's been out in the woods or maybe even at the hill all day, and he gets like right up in your face, Gretel, and says, "Hey, newcomer, huh? New face. What's your business here?"
I imagine that maybe she was like getting ready to like set down to eat, so maybe she just kind of like maybe out of habit from her home, like she has like whatever utensils there might be, or like maybe she got herself like a handkerchief or something. She's like laid it out like you would at like a dinner table or something, just like out of habit. Like so she's like getting ready to like go and eat.
You lay it out, and like one of them grabs like the bowl, like you got like Reg like went and got you, like introduced you to the food line first, right? And you got some pork, and like it's looking pretty delicious. This looks great after a couple of days on the road. And then this is like Disney bully tactics. Like they come and surround you, and like the one guy grabs your bowl and like hands it to the boss man. And he's like, just like starts helping himself. What's your story?
After it's like taken away, she'll instead fold her like hands together and just look at them like, I'm here in search of something, much like the rest of you.
Well, depending on what that is, you're gonna have to share. We share around here.
Reg would kind of come up and just be like, "Oh, I don't know if you would know their names or whatnot."
Yeah,
but either way,
Davokar is the main antagonist here.
Right. I think she would kind of go up and try to grab the bowl back from the guy and say, "Oh, you leave this one alone, Davokar. So I brought her here myself. I won't be seeing you messing around with her. Go pick on some other poor creature. You got your two friends you could go around back and play with. You don't mess with this one here."
Why is she so special, Reg?
Oh, well, I am still in her employ, and I swore that I'd get her here safe, and I'm not off the clock till tomorrow, you see. So you stay clear. No reason to be here.
Well, we just need to make sure she understands the rules. Somewhat doubt that you've explained that might makes right around here. And we get our cut.
I think
Well,
as he says that, you would hear, and it would turn, and you see the masked man standing silent. The lights reflecting upon the mask, creating a weird play, but no sound coming, just looking.
So he's got like his iron grip on this bowl, like you guys are kind of doing a little tug of war kind of thing. And as soon as Val kind of steps in, he just like releases it. No problems here. No problems here. We're just being good neighbors, welcoming our new friend here. He does a little patronizing pat on your head, Gretel, like he doesn't know what he's toying with. But
yeah. Just that like the tall, like she's got like a Puritan style hat essentially, and you just see like the little top go like thump thump.
And they just kind of, as soon as like there's enough muscle in the picture, like typical bullies, they just fuck off and start making their way to the other side of the fire.
Sorry for the disturbance. I hope your first impression of our little community is not being totally spoiled.
Oh, not at all. I have had great interactions with Reg and many another here.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, why couldn't that pig be the one that was gutted, huh? I heard about that.
Well, we have plenty of meat around, so no need to get that greedy yet, Reg.
Yeah. Well, this one here, well, let me introduce you to Gretel. This is Val. He was maybe one of the first ones I brought here. Not too, bit a while ago now.
Oh,
Well,
it's
been some
pleasure.
time. Gretel,
Um,
I hope you're half as sane as a quarter of the people I've seen here in the past few months.
I well, we'll see how sane I am being here and in search of this hill, but it seems as better a chance as any. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Don't call me sir. I'm no
All right,
lord.
fair.
And this
You're
here is my valuable second hand. His name is he doesn't have a name yet, but it doesn't matter. He's a good
ah,
guy.
Good to see you back, Reg.
It's good to see you too. No name yet, huh?
Nothing yet. Nothing yet.
Well, names are inflated anyway.
Yeah. I'll
speaking
answer
of
to most anything at the moment.
speaking of names, Val, you sound familiar. Have you ever been to Thistlehold before?
Most of us have sooner or later. Uh, This the whole is as good as it gets around these parts.
Understood.
I'd like to see it one day. Perhaps I can hire you at some point when I have some money, Reg, to take me down there.
Yes, maybe you might. Have you been paid yet?
A little bit.
Good.
A few days ago.
That's
Not
good.
not
Yeah.
much though, but
You still owe me a bit for getting you
yeah,
here.
that
Yes.
is true. That is true. I'll pull out 2 of my shillings and say I can spare this at the moment.
It's good. Yeah. You talking about it being a new babe and all. It's good that you learn honesty, right? I'll keep you to it.
So what do you
Yeah.
do with all that money?
Huh?
Me.
Who?
Reg.
As you ask that question, I think Gnosis and uh Gijabolgo are like walking through, and Gijabolgo's like, "Come on, let's hit the tables, Gnosis. Oh, money, bring it on this way. We're going to the tables. We're gonna roll some bones. Come on, boys, gals.
This is my neighbor, right?
Yep.
Who's wonderful.
He's got a fistful of Symbaroum coins. He's gonna go and do some gambling.
Well, I'll probably say, oh, I'll pass for now, but Prios be with you. Best of luck.
All
Right.
right, you change your mind. Go have a couple of beers and meet me in there. Come on. He wanders off. He wanders towards the tavern.
Yeah, and I think with that, he's kind of brought the attention over to the Nameless Ogre and Val, and I think I'll notice Reg there, and I think that you know I'm thinking that he probably brought me to town too, and I'm looking for someone who I feel is discreet, who may have some information on the area to talk to about this coin and the blemish on it. And I believe that the person that I would probably identify to that could be discreet, perhaps at a price, would be Reg. And so I think I'm going to kind of like, you know, go over to the table where they're at and kind of lean an arm onto Reg and say, when you have a moment, friend, I'd like to talk a little business with you.
Oh, business. Oh, excuse me. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Sure. Uh, I'd walk. I'd walk away and go
Yeah,
towards
and
you.
I think I would, probably not want to have this conversation so out in the open and have everybody see, what I'm showing him, but kind of would find a darkened corner to have the conversation and say, friend, I know you're really knowledgeable of the area, been here your whole life, and I wanted to see if you've ever seen coins such as this. And I'll pull out the Symbaroum coin with the
Mhm.
strange aberration on it. And I think too, Reg, I would say, as far as I can tell, I'm not as knowledgeable as you on this area, but as far as I can tell, looks it almost looks like a actual Symbaroum, but there's something off about it. And there's this particular blemish that I don't think would be on a precious metal. And so it's striking me as odd, and I just want to know if you've seen anything that looked like this coin. If you've seen some actual coins out here, if you've ever seen any false coins, or if just anything is striking you about it, because it seems odd.
She would hold out her hand, take it, and take a look at it.
Let's see. Make a cunning check. And do you have Lore Master or which site?
I
don't think so.
don't. No.
Something tells the
Normal.
newcomer is well informed.
Looks
Okay.
like a coin. Looks like a gold. You look at it, you see the blemish that he points out, but
I'm gonna bite into it. So this is a coin, all right.
it's metal. Yeah.
Metal, yeah. I everything you're saying, seems I don't know. It seems about there's I just brought someone over here. They seem to be a bit well read, if anything. Maybe you might ask them about it.
Could they be discreet? I want to keep this amongst those who do not have loud voice.
No, this one seems to have a good uh, head on her shoulders.
I smile, and maybe a little bit. You could already see her like leaning over when it's in Reg's hand and just kind of being like, just gonna.
Oh, she's followed us here.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I forgot. Sorry. I
That'd be
forgot.
fine if you're there.
Sorry, I forgot you guys had like walked away. So I was just like, I just imagined being at the table and you guys like standing there and her being like, huh?
If you're fine
No,
with it either way, I would have fetched her.
Yeah. No, I think that's I came to you because I thought you would know somebody who could help or you could help. So yeah, absolutely would trust your judgment.
Yeah, you guys kind of, you're open air, right? Like you just like walked a few paces away from the fire. Gretel is kind of already here with a keen eye, notices that you guys walked over there, and maybe when Reg comes in to get Gretel, like you already noticed, Reg, that she seemed interested in what you guys were talking about. So easy introduction. You guys pull her into the conversation some paces away from the fire.
Yeah, and I'll of course introduce myself as Papa Gnosis, priest of Priosh, and just explain that I am here on a mission from God to suss out what is happening on the hill and to learn everything I can about it. And that I found this coin. To my knowledge, it appears to fit the description of what the person told me it most likely was, of what he thought he would find. But to me, something is off about it. And I'll point out the blemish on the coin and give it to her and be like, from what Reg says, you are very well read, but perhaps you may have some understanding. And I'll probably note the hat too. And be okay, perhaps they do have some knowledge about the goings on of magic.
Big hat for big brains.
You do have Lore
Uh,
Master, so if you want to do a vigilant
Mhm.
test,
Sure. She'd take the coin in her hand. It's like long, like kind of leathery gloves that like go all the way back to the like elbow. She's rolling it around, checking it out. Let's see. Wait. Do I? I'm sorry. Do I just click the name of it, or?
I think you click on the name of it. It's gonna have a little dialogue thing. It'll pop up to like add bonuses. You could add a +2. I'm gonna give you a +2 because Gnosis already has a kind of beat on what it is.
Okay, and it was I'm sorry, cunning?
Vigilant.
Oh, vigilant. Sorry. Okay, vigilant. Ah, there it is. Okay. Roll. Oh.
Ooh,
This
nice.
is a
Oh, that's right. Lower's better. I forgot.
Lower's better.
yeah,
Lower's
that's
better.
a good success.
Yeah.
This is authentic. This is an authentic Symbaroum coin. Obviously the little rusty edge is kind of a peculiar thing, but everything else about it looks authentic.
Just kind of be turning around, even like that ghoulish kind of look to it. Like, is that indicative to these types of coins, or?
Yeah, you don't know necessarily what this face is, but your best bet is it's a former Symbaroum king, emperor, someone
Okay.
of great enough importance that it was put on a coin, but nobody really knows enough information about the Symbarums for you to point out a particular name at this stage.
Gotcha. Okay, she'll be kind of checking out. She's like, well, while no particular name is coming to mind, this is a valid find. She'll hand it back.
That's
Probably shortly after this appraisal, Gija Bogo shows back up with he's just arms full of those clay vessels, and he's like handing out one to Gnosis, one to Gretel, one to Reg, and he says, "Drinks are on me tonight, friends. We had some good luck out there in the hills, and like I said, I ain't greedy. I share with my friends. Cheers."
and of course I'll introduce him. Say this is my friend from the dig site.
Like,
Howdy,
like
howdy,
already
howdy.
holding the already holding the mug, and I'm like, it's very much a pleasure to meet you.
Very good. Yes. So you found things out there already, did you?
I did today. Got a fistful of coins, and I'm gonna be out there at the crack of dawn tomorrow. We're gonna dig up more.
And you do. You need to get out of here. You know who to call.
You,
Me.
I know.
Exactly. Yes, I'm Reg. That is correct.
You're not
I'm
gonna
here.
jack up your rates on me just because I'm Prince Rich.
Of course not. No. I'll take you the way I took my friend Gretel here. She paid for the she didn't want to get wet in the river, so we decided I took it that way. You could ask her. I'm I'm legitimate.
I don't
You can ask
question.
all of these fine folk here.
No, you know
Friend.
Gnosis. You help Gnosis, then you're good with me. And when I
Friend, tell them what you told me about what you think is down there.
all right, you ready? It's a Symbaroum king. It's his tomb. It's gonna be just. There's gonna be enough for all of us. I'm gonna take my share though, because I need to have enough wealth that I get a title or something from the queen. But I'll only take enough to buy my title, and I'll share it with the rest of y'all.
Don't touch anything.
What?
Oh, you.
Oh, hey, drink? Can you drink? And are you allowed? Here you go. He's trying to hand you a vessel of black brew.
And would I know Val just from his sort of reputation around?
Yeah, you know he's the lawman.
Yeah. And I'll probably say that, lawman. Well, why do you say that? What makes you say that?
If Symbaroum King happens to be buried under that hill, a wise man stay as far as possible as he can from it.
Why is that? What do you know that I don't?
That's an
Curious.
interesting question. What do you know that I don't?
Well, I don't know much about Symbaroum kings or their tomb. I find it very fascinating and interesting, and I would like to know more. So if you know more, it would
I
be
don't
amazing if you
know.
could share.
I don't
Have you
know
heard of
much
curses?
about anything.
No. What makes you?
Oh.
What do you just get a bad feeling about it? That's what makes you say to stay away.
I don't have any feelings. I just remember stuff.
I think at this point, Val has put together that coin that was given, that was being handled, came from the hill itself. I'm not sorry. I'm not Val. Reg, my character. Anyway, very short. Yeah. Reg, and she would immediately kind of be like, and you would see her like go off and grab some. She'd have like oil in her pouch that would smell like lavender or something, and kind of wash her hands of where that gold that she touched while this is all going on.
I
And
think
I would take note of that and ask Reg, do you also know something that I don't know? Is there something?
Just no, don't, as Val said, it's not best to touch any of these things. I mean, if you're looking for whatever you're looking for, I'd say a loved one, and yeah, all the things is fine. It's just for me personally, I don't feel like it's a good fortune for me to be holding on to these things as well.
You don't have to worry about that
And-
coin there, bro. That is blessed by the power of Prios.
Ah. Okay.
I would still err on the side of
And it-
caution with things that are so old. You never know both what beneficial things might be on it and what corruptive things might be on it. So
No,
it's,
no, sis, are you buying all this?
Well, I respect the beliefs of other cultures, and I give them their weight. However, Prios, uh, 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 Prios has not spoken to me about any dangers.
Ha! It's safe.
I mean, just to be
Do you
clear,
really
To
you
me,
could
it
trade
just all
in that.
sounds like superstition. I'm not hearing. I'm hearing. For me, I'm not comfortable. I'm hearing.
Yes.
I don't know
And
anything.
to be clear,
so
yes, you can go ahead and trade that gold in for other coin, and I'd be happy to take it home.
Well, you could drink the beer, right? I mean, I bought it with the coin. You could drink the beer.
I say that is fine.
Yeah.
I'd have another if you wouldn't mind.
Okay, I'll be right back. He's gonna like hand one to Nameless on the way, like kind of
But
cautiously,
Papa will
like
turn to
gives you some the big ogre.
Papa's going to turn to both Val and Reg and say, "But no, I am genuinely interested in why this gives you a bad feeling. Is it a personal feeling? Is it something a cultural superstition? Val, you were saying you just remember things. Do you remember someone saying to avoid these old things and these old tombs?
Have you heard about the story of King Hurian's crown, perhaps?
I have not.
Well,
Would you share it with us?
it's a long story, but the short version of the story is someone wanted to make money off of something that should never have been taken from that tomb, and he brought upon himself everyone who cared about him and a bunch of folks that had no relationship to him whatsoever. A lot of grief. So pay attention. What do you wish for? You might
Does it?
get it with an interest.
There's like a momentary kind of like that flash of recognition like strikes again, but she doesn't say anything. She's just like,
As you are all talking here by the fire, you hear a scream coming from the shacks, the little huts and tents that make up the living quarters, I guess you could say. Kind of over on the south side over here. And it is loud, shrill shriek. And everyone kind of turns their heads over in that direction, like, what was that?
I
think-
begin running that direction.
Yeah, I think Val as well.
How about Gnosis, Gretel, Reg?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Reg would don her bow and head in that direction, if only out of curiosity.
You all kind of sprint over in that direction. You could see outside of one of the shacks, there is a woman there, but looks like she has just dropped in the mud on the outside, just in front of the door to the shack, like a tray that had like a wooden bowl, with some of the boar and such, and maybe another clay mug, some of the black brew spilling out of it, soaking into the earth, and she's just like kind of she's got like her hand over her mouth, and she's kind of backpedaling, and she like points at the door, and she says, the man in there is dead. Blood everywhere."
I go in.
You open the door, kind of creaky makeshift door on rusty hinges, and you could see there's like a bunk on one side of the room, and then just like this really kind of basic um like wooden chest, and nearby is, and you would recognize it instantly, there's a little table set up with some alchemical ingredients and mixing vials and mortar and pestle and things like that, some like powders and such kind of spread, very dirtied, very clearly having been used recently. In the middle of all this, there is a body of a man who looks like he's been stabbed easily like a dozen times, mostly in his neck and chest area.
Prayer to Prios just to make it look good.
I'll kneel next to him and just I've got medicus, I guess. I mean, I don't see if I can feel a pulse, anything, see if there's anything that can be done at this point, or if the dude is already a goner.
He's dead, but the body is warm. So this didn't happen too long ago.
Okay.
Let's
But-
take a look at the crime scene, Nameless, before you touch too much.
All right. I'll stand up and I tell Val he's still warm. Very warm.
So when the lady screamed, the door was closed when we arrive on the scene.
It was maybe like a jar. Like it's like a pretty shitty door. But it was mostly closed. Wasn't latched, but
So I'll ask you, how much time ago did you get here?
I just got here. I was delivering his food as I do every night. He pays me for that.
Do you know who that guy is?
That's Handello is his name.
Oh, the guy about the feast the other night?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess some people didn't like the thing. Is there any trace of cracks? I mean, with all the blood, I would imagine some
Yeah.
splatter might give away some stuff.
Yeah, give me a vigilant test. And I'll say +2 because the earth is kind of a muddy camp.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, there's a lot of tracks all over. This is the living quarters, and so you find tracks, but it is not conclusive that it's leading in any particular direction or even how many people. Just too much activity in this area.
I will step over and just I don't want to touch anything per Val's request, but I want to look over the alchemical stuff to see if I could tell what by chance he might have been working on, things that he was using.
So there is
No.
This is a full-on portable laboratory. It's kind of incredible the things that you're seeing here because he's got some pretty elaborate tools that you would expect to see in a workshop in Ordo Magica or something, but he's transported them all here. So this is somebody that's highly skilled in alchemy. This isn't just somebody that's like mixing up some amateur stuff. And
Right.
you can see on the table there is what it appears to you like a crumbly rock, but as an alchemist, you would recognize it as a bezoar.
Bezoar?
I believe it is essentially like an internal organ,
It's like a hardened
yeah.
gall type
Okay.
stone, or like a stone kidney stone typey thing. Maybe not kidney stone, but yeah, it's usually like a hardened sediment thing that you find inside animals.
Yeah. Yep. So this kind of goes. Probably this is actually taken from a
From the pig.
Gabor. Yep. And there's some of the entrails kind of sitting there on the table as well. And a mixture of salts, some other ingredients that have been stored in little vials and jars. You could make a
is there
cunning check along with your.
How do I do that? Just
It's-
click on the number.
I think so. Or maybe you click on the actual name of the trait.
Yeah, you click on the name of the tree.
Okay.
Add it up.
Normal.
Just normal,
No
no
mod-
modifier. Okay. Adding a bazaar to antidotes can make them more powerful. And based on some of the ingredients that you were seeing here, it looks like maybe what was being mixed up was some kind of a poison antidote.
Okay. Right.
Other
I will let Val know that at the appropriate time. I don't know if now's the appropriate time, but I will definitely pass that information on to Val.
So Val and Nameless will push pause on you. I think you guys are still kind of surveying the crime scene. I get the sense that Gnosis, Gretel, and Reg, are you just hanging out outside? It'd be pretty cramped to have all of you in there. It's a very
I would
small
say
shack.
so, just for the fact that we're not like that's not our job.
We're not
But
the
Yeah.
cops.
kinda-
Yeah.
yeah.
And I suppose the one thing that I might be doing is because I believe Nameless had said that the body was still very warm. You said that out loud, right?
Yeah, that was not quiet. Yeah.
Okay. I think with that information, maybe she is like not necessarily moving from where she is so she doesn't disturb anything more, but would be like looking at the ground, looking like between huts, like just being more kind of like aware of her surroundings.
Sounds good. I think you see the big ogre that you encountered earlier is like wandering over, and she looks at you all and she says, "Trouble in the hut."
And there was a scream. Seems like Nameless and Val are in there now.
I've heard that scream before. Murder scream.
I seems to be.
Murder. Can I look at for tracks around the area? See if there's any footprints when they say murder scream.
This has already been attempted, so I'm going to say
Okay.
you find the same thing. Like it's just so muddy. And Roughneck is kind of looking around too. So many tracks. Bummer.
I'm guessing you hadn't seen anything, correct?
Off duty.
Fair.
I'll tell Silver Cheek.
Thank you.
She just kind of lingers awkwardly for a bit after she says it, and like, like after like 10 seconds, like she finally like starts to like leave. And you see her lumbering over to the campfire.
Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Just so that you know, both of you, if it does seem like this bit is not your taste and things, I'd be more than welcome. Discount. I'm headed back there anyway. I'd be happy to take you back, maybe halfway, or at least out of the forest, maybe in the morning or two. If you're not liking this murder stuff.
Oh, this quite fascinating.
I honestly want to be with a group right now. I don't want to wander back alone.
I want to know what's going on. Where I find it
Very well. Well, just keep that in mind. Yeah.
ready to leave quite yet. As a matter of fact, I feel like if more people start finding things of value, you might find more murders. Fortunately, I'm
Was
curious as to the motivations of the murderer and what is going on, if it has anything to do with the hill.
Papa Gnosis, you seem to be on good terms with a number of people, at least from the one person that I saw you walk in with. Was the gentleman you were with earlier and the gentleman in there, were they close at all, or like?
Do I recognize the guy who's dead?
You recognize
You
him
think
just because he was kind of an odd duck a bit. He was the guy that laid out all the pig entrails. You never got the sense that he had a friend in camp or anything. Like he was kind of a loner.
And you said he set out a bunch of pig entrails.
Yeah, he was the one. If you were listening to what Val and Nameless were talking with Silvercheek about, there was a guy last night who had taken some pig entrails and very publicly, like near the fire, like spread them out and was doing seemingly some kind of like divination magic. And he was not shy about this. He did it in public. It weirded everybody out. You very much probably saw that, and like you might have been a bit concerned about this guy, like as soon as you saw that, because you don't usually see people just like whip out their mystical powers like that. They're gonna be a little bit more secretive about it, unless they're like a member of Ordo Magica and they can.
And that's what I was gonna say. Being as nobody really knows this, but being an independent mystic myself, right? Did I see those telltale signs of that he wasn't a part of some sort of group and that he was kind of maybe practicing stray magics or something?
Unlike everyone else who doesn't understand it, you probably saw him and was like, he is actually practicing some deep shit. Like he is actually conducting a ritual that is not anything that you recognize. Like you've never heard of whatever he was doing, but you believe that it was a spell.
And then I get the feeling that he wasn't like. Do I get the feeling that he was a witch, or that he's a member of some sort of sect, or does it feel like he's similar to me, like he's picking up skills from different places?
Hard to say. I mean, the nature of it seems kind of like witch magic, using, you know, animal organs and components of that nature. Very ritualistic magic, not just definitely not faith magic. Something that's more primal, connected to the earth, connected to the forest.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'll mention that it didn't seem like that gentleman was close with anyone, and as near as I could tell, that whatever magic he was practicing seemed to be like some sort of earth magic. And I'll kind of look over at Gretel and be like, "You seem like somebody who might be knowledgeable about the magics of witches and such." And I'll kind of describe the ritual that I saw and say, "Does that line up with like what you would know?" of that type of worship or magic?
I'm sorry. Were you asking that to me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it would be something you would encounter. Just from the hat, right? I gotta assume you're a witch hunter.
Isn't that obvious? I just because I'm still learning things, I want to defer to the DM. I would think perhaps from like the little bits of information that I'm hearing, it sounds like that was a ritual, but without seeing it, I imagine I wouldn't be able to give too much input. But I'm not sure.
If you have a specific question you want to ask me about what you know about it, feel free. I'll say this about Gretel: when you're hearing about it, like from your perspective, it sounds like corrupt, like the kind of thing that you'd incur a lot of corruption doing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it sounds like corruptive magic.
So if it sounds like corruptive magic, based on what I've heard, would this be like something you would learn from? I want to say it's sorcerer. Sorcerer is the one that incur corruption for magic.
I mean,
right?
everybody does, but I'm just
okay.
saying that this
Sounds like a
is
big
like
deal,
dark
like a lot of-
dark
yeah.
magic.
I see.
Like,
okay.
Like, what's the analog? Like in D&D, necromancy is often a frowned upon, school of magic, and some might say like, it could lead you to some moralistic damage or something like that. So like this sounds like something that is like all magic corrupts, but this may be the kind of thing that would be like forbidden magic. Let's say that word.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
At least from the perspective of Ambrians.
Right. Okay. In that case, fix your hat.
The kind of stuff that you're hunting, for sure. Like it probably it would be intriguing to you.
Yeah, this from what I'm hearing sounds like the type of magic no one should touch, and if they do, it's something that they'll lose themselves to.
Fascinating.
Like,
Well, it seems like this person has lost himself, quite literally.
I don't know if it this damage seems more mortal than corruptive, perhaps.
So we got conversation having on the outside. I'll go back into the inside and see what Val and Nameless are maybe checking out or looking at, how the investigation is
I think
going.
Val would think two things. One, try to establish if the stabbing occurred from the front, from someone who was basically in front of the person or behind. And then if there's any sign of struggle, like was it that sudden, or there's signs that this guy tried to fight back before being stabbed.
Yeah, was it a small blade? And I would say to Val, I mean, a dozen stab wounds is like
There's
extra
animosity.
violent, extra
There's animosity.
personal.
Yeah.
So the two of you kind of roll the body over, his face down. Big pool of blood underneath him, slowly soaking into the earth. And as you roll him over, you can see they're all in the chest, couple in the neck, small dagger-like wounds. There's a second piece to it, and that is that there are scorch marks around his arms, big handprints kind of seared and burned into the flesh.
Where is... What do you think did that?
No idea. This guy seemed that he knew what he was doing. Look at this whole apparatus here. Did he leave anything written behind, either in the form of journals or books or anything?
Whoever is better at vigilant between the two of you can do a vigilant test.
I have
No
a
name, how
10.
you good at it? 10? Me too. So you go. You're lucky. I feel that you're gonna
Is
do
that-
better than me.
Is that so?
Yep.
Oh, just missed.
You see, there is a tome. I'm gonna assume that you guys are gonna like open up that chest and kind of rifle through there. There's a tome in
Yeah.
there. Resting on top of the chest was like an old kerosene lamp. You know, pull that, move it apart. Open up the chest. There's some clothes, robes, another pair of boots in there. Just some personal effects. But there's a book, a tome that is a leather book that has embossed in the spine. It says, "So saith Almagaster." This looks like, just like opening it up and flipping through it. Like this is an old book. It's written in the Ambrian language, but it probably for both Val and Nameless, it would be very difficult to. It's not like common. It's like Old English.
I think Val will probably bring this out and say to Gretel, Gretel, you're Ambrian, right?
I am.
Take a look at this one. Tell me what you think.
Sure thing. She'll reach out, check out the spine, kind of start flipping through, checking like the table of contents, and like, oh, this is quite the old book you found. She'll start kind of like perusing through it, kind of trying to get a general sense of like what this book is about.
You'll have to spend some time with it to get deep knowledge, but one thing is clear as you're flipping through it. This was written before Prios was declared the Exalted One, before he became like the one true god of Alberator and the Ambrians. So this is a pre-war. At the very least, it's a pre-war book.
Oh wow!
And it is a book from the old country because it references places in Alberator. By
the
really
kind of more
old
she's
names.
like, yeah, the more like she kind of is like, like going through the table of contents, maybe starts like flipping through some pages and just like kind of like skimming through it, like maybe like she has her finger on the page and like they notice like her fingers like slowing down as she reads, as she like kind of like goes back to like certain names and just kind of like, oh
Gretel, make a vigilant test.
Sure. Vigilant. Click. Normal roll. Oh. 18. Failed.
You finish flipping through the book and you're like,
yeah,
this is something to do a deep dive on later.
Yeah, I'll hand it back to him for now and be like, it's a little hard to read in this lighting. There are some interesting things that this is old. If there's a time and place later where I can take a deeper look at it, just probably here is not the time.
Now, whoever is taking this book, please record it on your inventory. It will come up later. I will continue to
Okay.
have vigilant tests made every so often when it's pulled out, and someday you will learn something crazy. But today was
Ooh.
not that day.
Okay. I don't know if Val would want to take it because I know he's the security guy.
No,
If
Val
not,
would not want to take it, but Val would
Okay.
bring this religiously to Silvercheek together with his report, which I think is old. But before we do that, I think he would instruct Nameless and Roughneck to stand guard at the door, make sure no one, comes close or anything yet.
okay. I think in that case, I will put the book in my inventory for now until unless someone else wants to do it. So I'll put it in my inventory.
Okay, sounds good.
One thing that I would
So just the name. I'll type the name in here. So
Okay, thank you.
saith Elma Gaster.
Thank you. And that would be it's like under equipment, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could just
Okay.
create a custom thing and.
Thank you.
Sorry, Chris.
Oh, that's fine. No, in looking at the, you said it looked like his clothes or whatever and his skin were burned on his arms.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any indication, I'm going to take my hand and kind of see like what size of a hand. Would it be a smaller hand or a larger hand like mine? And as I'm doing it, say to Val that it has, right now the that creature that what was his name? Sikander walks around with. Do you think that could have done this?
That's very smart, Nameless.
Hand
Could be.
size is probably about the size of yours, maybe a little bit more lean, but about the same size, and about a flaming servant's size grip. Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, then perhaps it's time to pay this Sikander a visit.
I would agree with that. I think we should go to Silvercheek first, however.
Yeah. But just as a curiosity, Alex, do we happen to know if this guy's plot happened to be adjacent to that of Sikander?
That is a good question. Let me just consult the map quick, as I don't know offhand. In a matter of speaking, if you look at the map, this one right here is Sikander's excavation. He's been here for a while. It's his thumbprint on the hill is pretty big. Opposite him, so on the other side of the hill, like almost directly opposite, is Handelos. So they wouldn't have been within eye shot of each other, but they very short distance if you being opposed to the pinnacle of the hill. Sorry, I think I might have
Guess we'll
pinged
go speak
wrong.
with Sikander.
This is the northern one that was Sikander's. Right here is on the southern side. That little dot there is
Okay.
Handelos. So at this juncture, you at least Val and Nameless are thinking about going and paying Silvercheek a visit in the tavern.
Yeah, I guess she would want to know from us.
And how about
in the
Sorry, go ahead.
in the meantime, Val, should we? I mean, I've seen this custom. Do we get this Gnosis character to say prayers or last rites over this guy?
I wouldn't know. I'm not particularly fervently religious, but if you have heard such, I'm not opposed.
You wanted Roughneck and myself to stand guard here while you go speak with Silvercheek?
I think Roughneck should be enough. You
Okay.
seemed capable. I would like your opinion as we report.
Okay.
Gnosis, Gretel, and Reg, what would your next thing be that you would do?
I'm not sure, because this now is kind of leading into like, I guess like the administration of the town.
Yeah.
Perhaps we'll look to Reg and be like, perhaps we've kept you here long enough. Shall we go back to the campfire?
Sure. Yes. Papa, Papa Gnosis. I've heard, I feel, I've heard, I don't know too much about, all this and that. I know that you like the sun, but, I've heard of maybe priests being named father or brother. Why are you, Papa?
It's just a nickname, for father. But I just
Ah,
prefer it.
Papa. Okay, good. Yes.
I choose not to be so high and mighty. I prefer more friendly uh, moniker.
So, Daddy, would that be?
That's pretty good too, but Papa's better.
Okay, sounds good. Papa's fine.
But you can call me Dad
Really? Okay. Maybe.
if you like it. If you
Oh, sure. Whatever would be. I feel we're familiar enough. Sure.
That is quite daddy cool of you.
Let's go back.
I was just about to say. I think it's time. I think it's time to go to the campfire. I think you're all
Yep.
going together, different agendas. Nameless and Val are wanting to go to the gambling hall, go try to track down Silvercheek. But you all are coming in. You're going to have to cross into the camp first, and you will see that flaming servant standing with Sikander, who is he's just like he's sitting on a bench by himself, like looking at the fire, just kind of like wringing his hands a little bit. He looks a little bit like agitated, and you all there isn't much to this murder mystery. Like it is very kind of transparent about who it is, but the bodyguard is this hulking flaming servant with a great sword the size of Ganondorf's, like standing, like watching out
Wow.
at everybody else. And so they're like, all of you are maybe like thinking about is this a guy that's going to have to be handled? And like, you just are thinking about like what that fight would look like. Because he's, for some of you, a very unnatural thing. Maybe like the weirdest thing you've seen, because for some of you, your adventuring careers are very infant. For Val, it's maybe worse because you've actually been face to face with one. So, anyways, you see him as you're passing through. we're kind of like moving into probably like 7 p.m. ish. Like people have had their meal, they've had maybe a drink or two or whatever, but people are tired. They've been out since daybreak out at the hill. Like a lot of people are kind of like starting to call it a night and go to their tents or whatever just to kind of settle down. So it's getting like quieter, I would say. Um, and you hear from beyond the palisade huge sound of something sloughing through the woods, almost like the trees themselves are moving about. Just the sound of like trees snapping and like a thud that you hear. It must be far enough away you can't feel it. Especially Gretel and Reg, you were near something like that you felt
Mhm.
the tremors. Can't really feel the tremors, but like
Does it sound very similar to
sounds
what
very
we heard out
similar.
there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Gretel would definitely like kind of look towards that sound and then like kind of a bit pointedly like look towards Reg before like looking out again and like that thankfully does not sound very close.
Yeah. Obviously, it sounds like that outside of the palisade walls, correct?
Outside, yes. Not even in the
there a way?
clearing. It's like out in the woods, so it's some distance
Uh-huh.
away.
Oh.
Is there any way to get sight outside? Like, is there a lookout, spaces between the wood that you can look through, anything like that?
You'd have to go outside the palisade wall. They don't have any watchtowers or anything like that, so you'd have to leave the palisade. You could, I mean, if you wanted to go out into the woods and try to find it, you can try.
I don't know that I want to
I wouldn't
find
advise
it,
it,
but I
but
want
you
to
could.
see what it is. But probably not enough to go outside of the palisade. I'll just turn to these two and say, your faces look like faces of recognition. It's a familiar sound. Something. What are you reading? This?
We did encounter it on the way here, though. Wise person would not venture towards that sound at all. You move quickly and quietly away from it. Though it seems to, I'm not sure. I've heard it here, though the few days I have been here, uh, so close to camp.
Do you
Val,
know what it is? Or is it just a loud sound, scary sound?
Just the loud sound that we've heard in the. I'd say that
Sound,
she would tell you that it's a loud sound that they heard in the forest, a ways away from here. That sounds very similar.
Yeah, Gretel would confirm that, being like they didn't see the creature, but we heard and felt the tremors before. So whatever it is, if it's the same thing, thankfully, it's not close. It's far enough away.
Yes, and that all just to, I don't mean to keep on harping on this, but just to remind us, this is this happened and you're safe because of me. So, like I said, if you know anyone that needs any way, any safe passage back, you could tell them, let them know about me, please. Once again.
Val and Nameless, were you stopping for this conversation, or were you going ahead to the gambling hall to make your report?
Honestly, as you described the scene of the guy very nervously and the flaming guard, the standing guard, I feel that he would stop.
Whatever Val's doing, I am. So if he stops, I stop.
I feel like if Gnosis sees this, it's going to get his attention. If it's so obvious that the murder was perpetrated by this character, the cops are coming up on him, something's going to go down. I want to see it.
This is not going to end well. It's just immediately looks over there.
But perhaps contrary to what people are thinking, Val is very calmly, slowly, always almost whispering, pulling Sikander out. Sikander, are you all right?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Just a long
You
day's work.
Look like you've seen a ghost.
Oh, don't worry so much about me. I'm just I tire. It's been many days of working the hill with no rest, no respite. Maybe I should take a day off.
Mm. Yeah, that looks like something you need. Do you need help? You seem your hands need help.
My hands are fine. It's just arthritis. I'm aged, as you see. Not
Let me take a look. I'm pretty handy with medicine.
and as you, I don't know, do you kind of grab his hand and kind of force it?
No, not force it.
Oh.
I'm very cautious.
He just kind of like he kind of like drops his hands to his side. He's like, "Please, I appreciate your concern. You know, I think it's time I turn in. I think that's what I'll do."
You want me to make sure you're all right?
Oh no.
I want you to know that with the Silver Cheek and I care for each and every member of the community. Your safety is paramount to us.
Well, I appreciate that, but I have the good fortune of having Brand here with me. So, I'm one less individual that you need to worry about.
Unfortunately, Brand here is very visible, and for some action, you might need discretion. Something I, given that I hide behind a mask, can offer you.
Why don't you make a persuasive test?
Nice.
Sounds good.
You're offering your protection? Well, I'm not going to turn down the bailiff of Salindra's Hope.
Let me just make sure you get to your place safe. I've heard tonight we've suffered an unfortunate accident. So I just want to make you aware that there might be someone out for blood. And while I do not doubt, points at Brand here, at the same time, I think if we can keep this under wraps, will be best for everybody.
Very well. Follow me. And he gets up from the bench and he kind of like signals something to Brand. And he starts moving in the direction of the tents and huts and whatnot. And Brand is like following like few feet behind him, basically. And the entire time, the flaming servant's like head is cocked, just like kind of staring back at you.
And I make every effort to look very non-aggressive.
Sounds good. I assume it's just you following? Anybody else
I think
doing anything in
I
response
think I
to
would
that?
say to Nameless. Nameless, can you please escort us as well?
Sure. Yeah. I'll stay about 10 feet behind.
Yeah, for this, Gretel probably would not follow.
Okay. For what it's worth, small camp, so wherever they're walking, like you'll be able to see them. Especially with
I'm
a
going to say
big
that I'm
flaming torch
definitely
man.
keeping an
with
eye
them.
on them. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely keeping an eye on that direction. But
Yeah, I feel like Gnosis is following, but following discreetly and keeping an eye on it, type of thing.
Okay. Sounds like we've got
From a distance.
Val and Nameless are like right up there. Everybody else is kind of like on the periphery, one way or the other. So as you're going, it's just to kind of paint the scene. Kind of tight little, meandering pathways. It's very cramped. Like everybody's like, just imagine a very cramped campsite. Like everyone's like right on top of each other. So any dialogue that happens over here is not really people
Right.
are going to be able to hear it, I guess is what I'm saying. So you had to get over to like where his shack is, and he just kind of turns and like he's looking at you, Val, and his eyes tell you like he understands that you know, but he just looks at you and he just says, "Is there anything else, Val? Maybe we could talk about this in the morning."
Yes, I think that is very wise. We wouldn't want to make an outright mess of this, especially when I feel we have an option. Because nobody really wants more blood on their hands when this can be settled the right way. I know, you know, that nobody likes more violence than is strictly necessary. And if we can ensure that the safety of the rest of the community here can be preserved, I'm sure a momentary lapse could be perhaps forgiven.
Your words are reasonable. I too believe that unnecessary violence should be avoided at all cost. I look forward to talking with you more in the morning. Perhaps out by the hill would be a good place to rendezvous. Good night. Gives a
Good
momentary
night,
look over
please.
at Nameless and does a nod, and then enters into the little hovel. Brand, the flame servant, just kind of posts up right in front of the door and just stands there like very robotic, like crosses its arms.
And I think with this, probably look at Nameless and says, unless you object, I will now go and speak with Silver Chick. That's something she needs to know.
Back in your play, boss.
Sounds good. So Val and Nameless are wanting to go back to Silver Cheek. Gnosis, Gretel, Reg, anything different that you're going to be doing while you're hanging out in the camp?
I mean, I think Gnosis is at this point, right? If it's the end of the night and people are starting to kind of call it a night, I think this is where he starts to do his like listen in on people's talkings. If he's getting close enough into conversations that maybe he'll do some sort of shapeshift into somebody else so he's not noticed, but most likely he's just eavesdropping, trying to see what people have found throughout the day, what the talkings of the camp are, and things like
Sure.
that. Himself.
Right now, because obviously nobody knows about the murder, really. Um, so everyone's talking about what they just heard. And so as you're mulling about, you're hearing all sorts of things like probably the prevailing thing is like there's some kind of enormous abomination that must be lurking by, because for like the past week people have been hearing this very large thing moving about, and I think some people are maybe linking that up with like what happened last night, like that guy. Like what was that? You know, like was it linked somehow? Was he calling? Was he summoning this thing? Rumors are going wild. Some others are saying that it's something that the barbarians have brought, because there's a lot of taboo about digging at the hill, and they're fed up with it, that they've had enough, and they know these woods better than anybody, and they have brought something to come and put an end to the digging, something that'll wipe out the camp.
And so this is something that's well known, that it's a kind of a taboo to mess up there.
It is well known that the Karohar tribe has taboos against it.
Is that Reg's tribe or no?
It is not.
No.
The Karohar tribe is probably one of the more let's say one of the clans that has put up more of a militant militant isn't the right word. There are groups of Karohar that aren't afraid of having conflict with the Ambrians. Like the political implications of violence is not as much of a caution for them like the other tribes. Like the history piece that I'll just like throw in here because this will matter later probably. Where Thistlehold is, there used to be a different clan that occupied that area called the Jezites, and their chieftain Halaban was killed, and like that tribe got wiped out, and they were close allies with Karohar. So Karohar has not forgotten that. They worry that the same thing could happen to them, and so whereas the other clans are kind of placating the Ambrians a lot of times, or even like openly working with them to try to earn some mercy, Karohar doesn't really see eye to eye. So I think of Gnosis, Gretel, and Reg. Which of you has the highest vigilant score?
I believe that's probably me. I have a 15.
15.
Definitely.
Give me a vigilant test quick.
Nice.
Oh no.
Okay.
Still. Well,
Your attention is just on the camp, kind of watching over different people, talking, meandering, and leaving the camp to go and turn in for the night. You see Roughneck is sitting kind of like opposite the campfire where Sikander was, and she's just sitting down, book open again, using the campfire light to kind of continue reading her action novel. Nameless, Val, you move into the gambling hall. Still, there's a lot of people, I think, still playing cards, playing dice, or whatever. That kind of will go on for a while. The people that have real problems, stick in here and gamble away any money that they happen to have. But Silver Cheek's behind the bar, just kind of hanging out, watching the hall. You see that she's got a coin in her hand that she's got kind of looking at as you enter. Then her attention kind of turns up to you. Yeah, I was wondering when you might get back. Roughneck told me. What'd you find out?
Problem, boss. We have a problem. well, to be precise, potentially two. One more imminent and closer to your troubles, and one lingering and a little bit beyond the reach of your palisade, but no less threatening. Which one would you want to hear from first?
Well, I was hoping to hear about the murder.
Well, we have the murderer at large. I felt it would have been incredibly disrupting to try to apprehend him now. But we have a problem. We have to get rid of him quietly, without too much bloodshed.
Well, who was the victim?
The victim was the weirdo who made the ritual with the pig's guts last night.
Handelo.
Well, do we know why he did it?
Not precisely.
Seems to
But
me he
judging
might
from
have
the
taken care of a problem for us. I mean, he
Could be
really
seen that
stirred
way.
some things up last night with the whatever oogity boogity nonsense he was doing there by the fire. Got people pretty stirred up.
Boss, how familiar are you with the lore of Alberator?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last word.
How familiar are you with the lore of Alberator? Alberator, sorry.
Oh, the old country.
Yeah.
I mean, I lived through the war years. So I mean, what are we talking about here, Val?
This guy had an old book. Now, I'm not much for reading books from the Umbrian side of things, but a certain Almagaster, does that name ring any bells to you, boss?
No, it sounds like an old name, but it doesn't mean anything to me.
I mean, isn't it the story that some weirdo in old Albertor was kind of playing with dead things and fighting words and whatnot?
Well, seems like just the thing some creep that's into dark magic would have had, right? I mean,
Yep.
he was here. He didn't really talk to anybody. He's obviously looking for something in that hill, just like everybody else, which is fine and it is their right. We welcome them. We welcome them and we welcome their money. But there's a line that was crossed last night, and while we don't obviously want to condone murder,
Seems more like a settling of a dispute than murder to me, if I'll be honest. The
well,
victim was preparing some kind of antidote for poison, which suggests he might have been expecting foul play against him.
sounds like we don't know enough, Val. Maybe you can have a talk with him, find out why he did it. As long as this is a one and done, well, I don't know if it's problematic or not. He might have had a good
Just want to make
reason for what he did. Keep an eye on him. Keep an extra eye on him. Have a talk with him tomorrow. See what you find out. I'll defer to your judgment. Whatever you decide needs to be done with him is within your right. When I gave you and I hired you on and made you bailiff, I entrusted the power of the blade to you. If he needs to go, he needs to go.
just in case, if you can have the leg breakers being on the hill tomorrow in the morning, I would appreciate. having a potential backup.
Absolutely. I'll have a talk with them.
Thank you, boss. And now let's bring up the real problem.
There's more problems, huh?
You
Val,
didn't
Val,
hear.
Val.
You didn't hear the noise.
Some movement out in the woods. We're not in the woods. We're in this clearing. We've got a wall.
We got a thin layer of wood between our skin and abominations, boss.
Abomination is a strong word, Val. Do you have any proof that there's an abomination wandering out there?
Boss, it's only a question of time before the greed of this mass of people result in countermeasures. Now, I'm not a betting man. You look like a very good betting lady, so perhaps you know more than I do on this. But I would say precaution would recommend we have contingency plans for evacuation.
Make a
Do you care
persuasive
about your
chest.
flock? Not particularly impressive, but
She says, precautions and plans, absolutely. But if you want me to be prepared for anything, you're going to have to bring me back something. Find me some evidence of what we're talking about. Because we're rolling in coin and cash that pays your salary, fills my pockets, makes this whole community whole. I'm not just going to throw that away. We've got something very, very special here. So there's good people out there on that hill. And she kind of holds up the coin that she was like kind of looking at when you entered. And she says, look, I've been to Thistlehold. I know what they say about this place. They think it's all hogwash. They think I'm a swindler, right? No, this is real. There's something real here. We can't throw that away because we've got our anxiety heightened by some sounds coming from the forest. You're gonna have to find me some evidence, and then yes, we will make ready the camp to move if we need to.
trust your judgment, boss. I hope that you can tell when enough is enough.
So I think with that, you get the sense that she's open to you making some plans for how that might look if an evacuation was necessary, but she's not willing to pull the trigger or like make meaningful things happen until she knows for sure that there's like an actual threat out there. So I think, is there anything else that we need to do or resolve here tonight? I think that's actually a pretty good stopping point.
The only thing I would ask is what is to be done with the victim's belongings.
She thinks about that.
And his sight.
She thinks about that. The site, she says, they'll reclaim, and she'll sell to whomever. His belongings and things like that, she'll turn to you two and be like, "Well, do you want any of them?" I mean, it's either that or, I mean, I could send him to what's his name? Sendel?
Samel?
Yeah, Samel. She could sell them. But she'll let you guys, like, if there's anything of his stuff that you want, she'll gift it or bequeath it unto you before she puts it up in the store, the general store.
We'll take care of bringing the inventory to Samel and make sure that any valuables are recycled into the economy.
Sounds good. Well, with that, I think we're going to say that probably there is some sleep that happens, and sounds like you're gonna have a. I like we're gonna get the leg breakers in to give us some extra muscle. Is kind of funny. I wasn't expecting that, so that's a good
Good
hook.
one.
So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know. First impressions. How are you guys feeling after the first session?
Pretty cool, actually.
I like it.
I like the way everything's coming together here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
curious
excited to
just how
see.
tough this thing is.
Both
Yeah.
things.
I really want to spend more time with this book, and at some point, like, I just want to like look around that fire to see if there's any like thing left behind from when that dude like put the like pig organs and stuff. Like, if there's any like weird corruption type stuff, like I want to investigate.
I'll say, as far as the book goes, maybe like after every, like maybe at the end of this chapter, like when you after you leave and you've got like a week, there'll be times where it'll be like, I'll just say like, okay, a week passes, like a week, you had a week to do whatever. Those will be like times where I'll let you do some more checks again, because that could be important at some point.
I think Vala has a sense of impending doom, but he understands that he's paranoid, if not overly paranoid, and it is like, okay, I don't know what to do here, but I have a bad feeling, but I don't want to be a prophet of doom yet. So let's just play it the way it goes. But it does not like it even a little tiny bit.
Let's so it didn't really happen, but Gnosis has been here for a while. Let's end on a roll, because you were out there digging for a while. I want to see if you found something. There's a possibility you found something.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
It won't be of such consequence that it would have mattered for the session, so it'll be fine if it's retroactive, I think. Give me a vigilant test. We had a success.
Oh, okay. Yep.
All right.
Yep. There we go.
Just roll a d20. $17. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. Roll a d4. Okay. So maybe some days ago, you dug up something in your site, a wooden box that contains an embalmed finger that is painted kind of with, it's like painted like with the coils of like a snake running up to the fingertip from the base.
Box. Bump. And there's a snake on the box. Picture of a snake wrapped around the box.
Yes. You know what? That is probably the interpretation, that the box is painted like a snake, not the finger. Because that would be a tattoo. So. But there is still an embalmed finger inside the box.
Cool. Right. I think I added. Yeah, I got it there. Okay, cool.
That might make sense at some point, potentially. I don't know. We'll see. there's a lot of things that may just never get answered in this in this adventure because it is. I don't know. I could talk about it like once we're done with it, but I think it's like reviewed very poorly because as a adventure, it's written kind of bad, but the scenario and the ideas of it were good. So I was like, this is like a good like meet adventure, like to have a bunch of people like meet and get together. But it probably is going to play out more like a radio drama than a tabletop game. But I think you guys are probably a crew that is more than fine with that. And it'll lead us into our bigger epic. But cool. Well, thanks everybody for hanging out with us here tonight. Hope you had fun listening in. We will be back in 2 weeks. This is a game we'll be doing every other week on Thursdays. So if you're enjoying, you can definitely follow along and check us out there. Yep, Tuck says, yay for radio drama game. Yeah. Join our Discord if you haven't already. There's the link in the chat. For now, we will say... Oh, I see Stronghold D&D is streaming. They stopped in to say hi for a second, so we'll go raid them. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for hanging out.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
Ooh.